to Whiskey and a Movie. I am your host, AJ, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, my dad, Jeff. And today we are going to be reviewing the new action-adventure fantasy movie Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. And Dad, what did you think of it? Because we had a lot of fun when we went to go see it, and honestly, I don't think we were expecting much when we went into it.
Well, no, I think we were expecting, more of a popcorn movie, just a lot of fun. Enjoyed being there. But we actually got a very good movie with a plot that was deeper than I anticipated for the subject. But yeah, it was a good show.
And of course, one of the co-directors on this is an actor we've grown to love throughout the TV shows that we watched over the years, John Francis Daly, who of course got his start in the Judd Apatow TV show for Fox called Freaks and Geeks, who then went on later to one of your favorite series.
Oh yeah, Bones. He was in Bones for quite a while. Left the show before the final season, but he did an excellent job there.
And of course, he previously directed Game Night and Vacation, starring Ed Helms and Jason Bateman, respectively. And he was also a star in the Ryan Reynolds film Waiting. And he and his co-director also wrote the screenplay for Spider-Man Homecoming. So they've also had a fair share in their genre outings and their superhero movies. And Dad, I don't know if you ever saw the clip. I think you did, but did you see the Freaks and Geeks reunion? I saw
the Freaks and Geeks reunion clip with, where'd you get that beard? Yeah, I've been playing for 24 years. Maybe it's time to go home. And of course, that's the line where John Francis Daly says, yeah, I haven't hit puberty yet. So,
yeah.
Funny guy.
And so, when you look at his filmography before this, didn't you think he had what it takes to direct a big budget fantasy film like this?
Well, I had heard he had done some directing before this. So, I think he did an outstanding job. I think he must know the genre very well and have lived it and imagined it, and he was able to bring that imagination to the big screen.
And with that said, the cast had a lot of great chemistry with each other as well, including Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez, whose chemistry kind of blew me away during it, because I like Michelle Rodriguez outside of the Fast and the Furious movies. I think she's a good actor out of that bunch. Probably the only one that's probably a good actor from that bunch. But what did you think of the cast chemistry throughout this?
I thought it was very nice. It was several very interesting characters who learn to survive through their flaws and make the best of everything. So I did enjoy it. Michelle Rodriguez, her character was one of my favorites. She's the hero in many of the action scenes. So yeah, she did a real good job.
And Justice Smith also did a good job in this as well. He was Simon the wizard, wizard wannabe, the wizard who knows a few good tricks and can con his way into a living, but he had to come up with some serious magic in this movie. It brought out the best in him. And Hugh Grant. Right? He was the, or am I thinking of somebody else? No, Hugh Grant was Ford's, remember?
Oh, yes. Yes, we've seen Hugh Grant play a couple of baddies recently. So yes, it should come as no surprise to everybody that Hugh Grant is one of the baddies in this. I'm sorry, I'm having one of those. I had a senior moment. Forgot who Hugh Grant was.
And of course, one of my favorite younger members of the cast was Sophia Littless, who played Doric.
Yeah, she's the what they call her, a druid. They call her a druid. She's a shapeshifter, or can morph into any animal form. So,
and of course, Sophia made it in the big time from being in the It movies that recently came out, as well as the fantastic Netflix series that only lasted for a season. I Am Not Okay With This.
Okay. I wasn't on my watch list.
We watched it a long time ago, but it must have not left a huge imprint on you. And of course, Reggie John Page as Zenith was very good too.
Yeah, he was the noble, very noble and aloof person, but I thought his acting was spot on for his character.
And so, Dad, did you want to start with your whiskeys that you chose, or did you want to go a little bit deeper into the movie, or what?
You know me, I'm eager to get to the whiskey. So, I'm going to tell you what I'm starting with. When I watched Dungeons and Dragons, I kind of got that old world feel. So, I thought I would start with something of European nature. So, I picked Jameson's Black Barrel. Jameson's Black Barrel, triple distilled Irish whiskey, coming in at 80 proof. And this is
Another low one.
Yeah, it's a low proof for me. Yes, but it's very good. You get that old world feel with Dungeons and Dragons. It's almost like it's all medieval,
right?
So the guys riding around in armor and all the castles. So I thought I had to go European, but I started with something smooth because Chris Pine's character is very smooth.
Yes,
in this whole movie.
And that's another thing. This is probably the funniest hit he's ever been, has it?
I think it's the funniest he's ever been. Yes, it's as they say, comedy is harder to pull off than drama.
Yeah,
and he makes perfect levity when he does this. He
did not force any of his lines. They did not feel forced at all. He did a fantastic job with the comedic aspect of it. And backing off of yours, I may get typecast in having novelist whiskeys after celebrities, but once again, I'm bringing up Bob Dylan's Heaven's Door, but this one is his Highway 61 blend, a blend of straight whiskeys, and it's a blend of bourbon and rye. So why I chose that bottle specifically is that this was a nice blend of fantasy, action, and adventure. It had a nice blend of a few genres mixed in. So I thought, and this is a really fun blend of whiskeys in this as well.
Okay. Cheers.
And I noticed today, I probably noticed before, but this also has a mash bill on it.
Okay.
Or maybe it's maybe the percentage of the whiskeys.
Percentage, that's not mash bill, that's percentage of the whiskeys they used in that. So what do you think? What do you think of Heaven's Door Route 61 blend?
Well, as you can tell,
Highway 61 blend.
As you can tell from the bottle, I liked it in the past.
Heaven's Door is interesting because each of the bottles has a... Bob Dylan has an ironworks studio, and he makes custom gates. And those gates are the imprint on the bottle.
And I think there are different gates on every bottle. Yeah.
Well, each different. Not every single.
Every bottle is like a different kind of.
The cask strength has one. The Highway 61 blend has one. The rye has one. Or, well, do they even have a rye? But they have the Tennessee whiskey. They have the bourbon, and then they have cask strength, and they have the bootlegger edition. Lots of different editions out there from Heaven's Door, and Heaven's Door is is one of the celebrity whiskeys that is doing it right.
Yes.
They hired a master blender to help them through the process, and it has worked out well.
And I didn't even mention the proof on this one. The proof on this one is 93.6, coming in at 46.87 volume alcohol per volume on this.
So I think this is the perfect whiskey to go with Honor Among Thieves, because it is kind of smooth, but there's a little bit of bite on the back end. It's got a good bit of oak to it too, folks. Very oaky for
the colors on these are fantastic as well. And that's another thing about Dungeons and Dragons. There is a lot of beautiful scenery to look at throughout.
Yes,
that film. Yeah.
Besides just Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So what'd you get on it, AJ? What are your tasting notes on that Highway 61 blend?
I want to say some barley and some cinnamon, kind of.
Okay. All right.
My nose has been
allergy season here.
Yeah, so it's been terrible as of the past maybe week or so. It's been really terrible. Warm weather for a little bit, and now it's getting
mad cold, and it's warming up again. Now we're on the upswing again. So you ready to taste the Black Barrel?
Yes, I am. And guys, and folks, I hope you are really enjoying what we're doing with Whiskey at a Movie, because, it took a while for me to convince my dad, like I said on the first episode, but now this is our 4th episode that we're doing, so
yeah,
I think we're starting to really enjoy it, and we probably look forward to doing an episode.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. We hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Of course, that means you should be drinking while we're doing this. You don't have to drink what we're drinking. You can drink whatever you want.
And if you decide you're interested to drink whatever we're drinking on this episode, I'll put links in as usual to random, or I'll put their retailers online. If you want to find it by zip code, if they're close to your area, you can find it that way. Get ethanol on the nose.
For an 80 proof, that's pretty amazing.
No, but that is a smooth finish. Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to try my heavy store?
It looks like you've enjoyed it quite a bit, but I'm gonna try to have a little bit, just so I can compare it. That's a very small sample, but
you don't get enough out of it. So do you think this can turn into another franchise for Chris Pine as well, since Star Trek 3 seems to be in Hollywood development hell right now? Like, it's not going to happen.
I think this could be another franchise opportunity for Chris Pine. I really do, because it's certainly a good format, a good open storyline where they could do many different missions and do many different things. But this time they ended up saving the world. So hopefully, they just keep saving the world like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
Right. Because that's on like 9th or 10th movie right now.
I don't think it's quite that many, but it's certainly up there in the franchise number.
And I think Michelle Rodriguez would be available for another franchise with Fast and the Furious supposedly getting ready to end.
Well, we'll see.
So do you remember any scenes specifically in this that really stood out to you?
I enjoyed Well, this is this. I enjoyed the whole a magician making a portal from one location to another. When those scenes occurred, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
They were able to jump in one portal and they came out at the other end of the portal, and they managed to put this portal in a
Stagecoach, right?
Now they put it into a very expensive painting.
Right, yeah.
A very expensive painting, and that caused. I thought that was just so incredibly crazy because the painting they tricked the painting into being put into the vault that they're trying to steal everything from, and they somehow the painting accidentally fell down on its face. So when they tried to, go through the portal, they were looking at a stone floor and they couldn't go through. So they had to try to chip away at the frame so that they could get a mouse or a worm, from the druid could sneak through and then pop back out on the other side and lift the frame up so they could all come through. But that to me was both humorous and on the edge of my seat because it was kind of a cliffhanger. Will they get there?
Right.
It was just an amazing thing, I thought. So,
and there was a lot of amazing stunts in the film as well.
Oh yes, and dragons. There were dragons. AJ, I got to tell you, that Highway 61 blend seems even lighter, even though you said it was
93.6.
93.6. It seems lighter.
Yeah.
Like a lighter whiskey than my 80.
And it's very smooth.
Black Barrel. So my Black Barrel's got a little more bite.
Well, like I said, I got ethanol on the nose, but that could just be me at the moment.
Well, I certainly don't get any ethanol on the nose with that, but.
So what's next?
I've got another one. This is one of my favorites. Again, staying with the European mindset. This is Springbank. This is a 12-year-old cash strength from Campbelltown, Scotland, a very small producing region, but with all of the efforts of the merry band of heroes to accomplish their mission. I thought this was kind of an appropriate. It has been aged 12 years, so these people didn't learn their skills overnight. It took them a while, and again, this is out there with the European, the old world feel. However, now this is clocking in at 55.9 ABV, so that's 101.8. No, 111.8.
Yeah.
11.8. So
this is much more your speed.
Yes, this is. Well, you can see again. This is a bottle I've enjoyed. So, we've got a few bottles here at the old family abode. So,
fortunately, we got plenty of options too. And how did you say this was pronounced? Ezra Brooks?
Ezra.
And I have the Ezra Brooks straight rye whiskey, aged 24 months in new charred American oak. And this is clocking in at 45% alcohol by volume, which is 90 proof. And here in
so we couldn't be more different here. I picked one that's 12 years old, and you go with a 2-year-old for your second one.
Yeah, and I went with the younger bottle because, like I said, the younger cast in this, Justice Smith and Sophia Lillis did a fantastic job, especially Sophia Lillis, I thought. And, I'm not a big Justice Smith fan, but this movie I really enjoyed his acting.
Oh, good. Well, there was a lot of youth in the theater too when we saw this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of granddads taking their grandsons to see this movie. So enjoy.
Yeah, I think it's allergy season for me, folks. I'm not getting much of any kind of nose.
Yeah, we might have to postpone until you're over this before the next episode. Feel like I'm the only one tasting here. So,
what do you get on the nose and the palate of yours?
well, I'm getting some of the seed because Campbelltown's a small town near the coast. I get the sea. I get some saltiness. I get some the heather from the countryside. It's got a real nice scotchy nose. Not as smoky as some, but this is definitely a little past the midpoint in terms of smokiness for a Scotch, but it's a nice, clean taste, good, decent finish. I really enjoy Springbait.
Good. Don't really get anything on the palate either of this one, but it's good.
It's good. Okay.
And how much did you say a bottle of this was?
That should be under $20.
And that's another reason, because usually when you pay for something, you think if you only pay $20 for it, it's not going to be that great.
Yeah, it's a decent. I would probably relegate it to cocktails, if I was pouring that. I have tasted it. It's a solid little rye whiskey. And then again, there you go. You're under 20, and I think this was between 110 and 120. So, little difference.
And I chose that one as well because, like I said, when you pay for something that little, you don't know what you're going to get. And that's how I felt going into this movie, even though it's been getting rave reviews and it has like a 91 or a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, okay, but I don't know what's really selling me on this movie, even though I did want to go see it on the big screen. And then I came back with a lot more positiveness after seeing it.
Okay. Good deal.
And so, what are your final thoughts on Dungeons and Dragons before we get out of here?
Well, Dungeons and Dragons certainly has the potential to be a franchise. I think it has the potential to be a franchise and go on and make 2 or 3 more. So I enjoyed it. It was thoroughly enjoyable. It's sitting there as a PG-13, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there was, this is, if you're thinking about taking a grandkid to see this, I think you can get there, provided they're 10 or so. They're not going to hear anything in this movie they haven't already heard at school. So I think you can enjoy it and go take your kids to see it. It's well worthwhile.
So final grade?
Final grade, I give this 4 barrels out of 5.
And you know what? I think I'd agree with that. I think I would give this 4 dragons out of 5.
Okay. There you go.
And folks, this has been Whiskey and a Movie. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks, everybody.